Hey there, it's Enderverse. I made some changes to my schedule, and as a result, I decided to do one collection per month instead of two. But the difference here is that this video will have 30 mods instead of 20. All of them work on 1.20.1 onwards and feature excellent quality. I hope that you appreciate the change, and now let's dive into the video. First on the list we have a fun mod called Ghasts Crash. With this mod, when you kill a ghast, it will come crashing down, exploding once it hits the ground. This mod will make the game feel a little more immersive and enjoyable, and I reckon the author took some inspiration from the Minecraft movie, as there is a scene where the ghast crashes down and explodes just like in this mod. Next up we have Redstone Crusaders Turbo. This is a project representing the bizarre adventures of JoJo as a Minecraft mod. And boy was it good. For starters, the author used Photon Editor to give each movement a special visual effects on its own. The sounds were quite gratifying too, and the animations of the sands were as smooth as you could get. Obtaining and using Star Platinum sand is quite easy. You just craft the sand arrow and use it on yourself. Star Platinum should emerge beautifully after you do that. Windswept is a mod enhancing the snowy and piney biomes of the game, along with introducing new similar ones. The mod was beautifully put together, tons of new blocks are added, and tons more items can be crafted from said blocks. There are wooden buckets to help you contain water early game, dozens of decorational blocks to give your house a festive feel, and a lot of yummers like Christmas puddings, mutton pie, and ginger tea. What I talked about is merely the tip of the iceberg. The author did an excellent job extending the mod's reach to other projects like Create, Quark, and Boatload, so it's perfect for ModPacks. This mod improved the witch hats so much they became a whole town on their own. The main hat looks like a stone cathedral. Inside you won't just find witches, but vindicators, illusioners, spiders, and even cave spiders too. And although these mobs are horrible enough, there's something else beneath the castle that I won't spoil for you, friend. Suffice to say that you will need to put a waystone here or store your valuables somewhere else. I really love how the author didn't just stop with the hat. Stony hills surround the castle, along with tiny cabins and medium houses that are designed to look as wild and swampy as possible, helping to connect each structure to another, something I always appreciate. The only issue I would cite for the author is the lag this structure causes. My FPS were cut in half each time I look at them, so please make sure to optimize them for low-end devices. Radiant Refractions added new light sources besides the torches and the lanterns. The flashlight will help you light up spaces outside of your reach, but requires batteries that are made from basic materials. The lighter does not require any fuel or batteries, but it will function exactly like a torch, only with a different color tint. I'm quite interested in the flashlight though. When you enable pitch black darkness on Sodium Plus, the gameplay turns tense and scary, so I would save it for the Halloween. If you've been around the channel for long, chances are you've accumulated a huge mod pack along the way. Well, I did, but to run such a mod pack on a server is a bit tricky. Crashes may arise, and the combination of bad customer service and outdated hardware can turn your adventure with friends into an epic waste of money. But you don't have to worry about that when using Pine Hosting. I've been a partner with these people for a while now, and hosting my mod pack with over 400 mods on their platform. So it is from experience that I say their services are actually very good. With a price starting at only $3 per month, you get everything from many server locations around the world to get the best performance, powerful PC components to keep everything running smoothly, a super simple control panel to change this or that, a support team that never quits on you or leaves you fending for yourself, plus a lot more. Sponsors like Pine Hosting make it possible for me to do this full time, and also for you guys to get a 30% discount when using my code ENDER, making it financially viable to launch a big server with more than a quarter of the price saved up. Oasis 2.0 is a mod that will allow you to run AI prompts in the game that will change the game's shader in real time based on the prompt you wrote. You want the game to look like Red Dead Redemption 2? You got it. Zelda? Here you go. GTA? There you have it. Of course, the visuals are not 100% accurate. Heck, not even 10% accurate, but it's very entertaining to try all the prompts you have in mind and see how they would look on Minecraft. I am not a fan of generative AI myself, but I have no problems with it in the context of experimentation and memes, especially when a model is packaged as an actual mod to play. Ancient Elements is a big mod on the list, mostly about the caves in Minecraft. This gigantic mod featured everything from a unique and enjoyable progression to numerous new materials with all kinds of uses, an assortment of high quality mobs that are very fun to interact with, or in most cases fight, along with a new biome and a couple of structures to find around the world. Despite the huge amount of content here, the author provides you with a guidebook the second you loot the world, so you'll know exactly where to start, what awaits you, and how to go forward. Tooltip Overhaul is a mod that adds a fancy plate to every item in the game. Whenever you hover your mouse over any item, and depending on the rarity, use and nature of that item, a different plate with different animations will appear. I am familiar with a mod called Obscure Tooltips, which did a similar thing. However, this mod has a much wider collection of animations and plate designs. I present to you both, so you choose whichever fits you best, my friend. Echoes of Battle adds voice lines to some bosses on the Cataclysm mod. The two bosses affected by this mod are Ignis and Thyla.
How dare you trample upon my palace?
But more are planned to be voice lined in the future.
Be washed from my sight!
However, I noticed that the voice lines lack emotion. They feel bland and dead.
I will not fall.
So, I recommend for the author to do the voicing over or hire someone to do it. A couple of words shouldn't cost a lot.
Are strong indeed.
And there are many voice changers out there to alter it in any ways.
Drown in lightning!
So, I hope the author would embrace my suggestion.
I will not let you.
The Razor Tyrant, the Reign of Terror, is a monster worthy of its name. Without a prior notice, this mob will spawn out of nowhere and destroy you with a barrage of aggressive attacks. It can even destroy blocks on its way just to get to you faster. I see this mod being used by people who've gotten to a point where they feel overpowered, undefeatable, and bored. If that's the case, this boss will be enough to humble you down, my friend. My suggestion for the author would be to make a structure where this boss could be found. Preferably add some minions too, along with some useful items to be had from killing this boss. Although I really think the authors did an excellent job on the boss itself. So, cheers for that. This mod adds a new type of villages that spawn randomly on the world, and that is in the shape of boulders spiraling upwards. The villagers were too advanced, having things like elevators, fridges, invisible item frames, and a few more features to discover. These structures also adapt to their surroundings. Depending on the biome they spawn on, the plant types on the top of the boulders will be different, helping the structure to merge well with the rest of the world. I like this unique style of building. It looks wild and less formal, something that can make the game feel more immersive, just like the fourth mod on this list. This mod improves the player hands, making them realistic and quite identical to those used in popular Minecraft animation movies. The mod is compatible with 3D skin layers amongst other mods, and in a multiplayer environment, it can make the game feel a little more sophisticated than it usually does. Zip to It is a transportation mod packaged beautifully. Using the zippy stick hand, you can aim at any wall through holding the right click button and release the key to be launched in that direction. I enjoyed the colorful and fluid visuals of the cord. I also enjoyed the sound design. It's quite the leap from the conventional grappling hook options out there and makes the game feel magical and gratifying. The zippy stick hand isn't easy to make. It requires an ochre froglight, which, as you may know, takes some hustling to obtain. However, once you craft a zippy stick hand, it's yours forever. It never breaks. Wild Dungeons is a mod that makes the game feel roguelike. Throughout the journey, you will discover different new arenas with full-blown bosses to fight. The rewards are the most exciting bit of the mod. You get to win a couple of overpowered weapons. Everyone's favorite is easily the black hole gun. As the name implies, you can shoot black holes that will suck any mob or block around it. Pretty destructive and can demolish any structure in seconds. This is an excellent RPG mod. Currently there is no official download for it, though the author included a downloadable zip file that you can import in Curseforge. So go for it. The Faye Garden is a mod that will allow you to cut sunflowers and red mushrooms into different gardening decorations. I know, it doesn't make any sense, but this mod is new. I guess the author is planning some logical way one could obtain these blocks. The new decorative blocks feature 3D appearances that are quite detailed. They also don't fit naturally with the vanilla blocks, so it's recommended to use a texture pack such as Alakrachi or whatever 30x30 pack you could find and that could fit this mod. These blocks, when placed correctly, can turn any spot into a garden of paradise. They don't function or anything, but their aesthetic appeal is enough of a reason to download this mod right now. Mebahel Skeleton Revival is a fun mod that will make it so that every time you kill a skeleton, there is a chance its skull will flee away from you, giving it another chance at life as it respawns as a bowless skeleton. This applies to both regular skeletons and wither skeletons, and it's a very hilarious feature that is worth having on your mod pack. Next up we have Toxony, a mod about pausing, how to craft it, use it, and protect yourself from it. The author provided numerous mechanics related to pausing, oils to enhance your weapons, needles to inject mobs with, new structures in the form of hunter towers and silver mines, numerous new armors and weapons made from said silver ore, and plenty of stations and machines to do all the alchemical synthesis. The progression on this mod is unbelievably engaging. My description was just a way to show you the main exciting features, but believe me, there's a long and fun journey to go through before you obtain any of the new items or equipment. This next mod added a lot of new mobs to the game, each one coming from different origins and spawning in different biomes and altitudes. I like how none of these mobs are pointless. Each one of them drops different items that can be used to craft a plethora of new stuff, with one mob in particular, the enormous eggplant, being useful for transportation as well. A good quality and valuable use are two main factors that define a good mob expansion project. And this one checked both, so it's a decent mod to go with. But tell me, which mob expansion mod do you think is worth adding on a future video? Drop it in the comments and I'll check it out. After several months, Luke decided to add a new mod to their Immersive mods collection. This time around, it's the Immersive Furniture mod. This project is unlike any decoration mod you've ever seen. For starters, you get to choose from an online library of decoration samples made by the community. Crazy, right? What's crazier is that you get to create your own furniture with a sophisticated in-game block editor. This way, you get to design your house decor down to the last minute detail. All of the mentioned features are available on survival playthroughs, and it's great considering the endless possibilities you and your parties could come up with, or for the very least, search on this vast library of samples. Creation and Adventure is a content mod that adds a lot of things. So many things I don't even know where to start. Well, let's begin with the biomes. The author has added 10 in total. Each one is made special through a number of features like different kinds of flowers, pebbles on the ground, and visual effects that help distinguish each biome. There are also tons of new mobs. Some you may recognize somewhere, a number of them are inspired by vanilla mobs, and a few are entirely new and foreign. The mod also provides new armors and weapons to obtain. Some weapons, the Espada Blanca to be exact, can have an attacking speed of 40, so go crazy with that. I really love the mod, but I have to admit it's quite lacking in terms of guidance. There's no book or progression system to follow through. Besides, the mod is not translated to English, which leaves many items and mobs unknown to people who can't speak Spanish. Winter Overhaul is a mod that will add a couple of clothes that fit the festive feel of Christmas. Comfy options like winter hats, scarves, and ice skates. The author also enhanced the snow golem. Once you shear it, you get to give it a carrot nose, a hat, and a scarf, making it look enchanting. There's also a new mob introduced, the robin, a bird that enhances the warm feeling of Christmas. I would savor this mod for Christmas. Sure, the weather is still hot, I'm being cooked as I'm making this video, but hey, we're just a few months away from hot chocolate and comfy socks, so let's keep patience. Next up we have Revoted Wildfire. This mod, as the name clearly gives it off, adds the outvoted Wildfire mob into the game. This mob is surrounded by shields, shoots a barrage of fireballs before recharging, and if you get too close, the Wildfire push you back aggressively, sometimes right to a pool of lava, so try to maintain distance. Arrows still work on this mob luckily, so take advantage of that. The mod also changed how the blaze spawners work. There will be an indestructible frenzy spawner that summons the blazes in waves, so things will be a lot different with this mod, something you want to consider before adding it to your mod pack. This mod adds occasional desert storms that happen on scorched biomes like Badlands and, of course, the desert. The desert storms come in different phases. Based on the phase, the wind will be stronger, to the point where you will be unable to move the opposite direction. Some higher phases can even cause fatigue and random damage. The sandstorms are also compatible with mods like Thirle and Biomes of Plenty, where they will happen in dry areas. These desert storms look good, but I feel they could have more VFX features. I'd also like to suggest a more intuitive wind system, where the wind spirals up or moves in circles instead of going in one direction. Otherwise, this mod is perfect. Mass Effects is a client-sided mod that enhances the VFX of a feast full of activities in the game. The most notable change here was the mace. Each time you smash a mob with the mace, a shockwave effect will appear around the mob. Being saved by a totem, throwing an ender pearl, and death particles have all been improved to look more spectacular. So I would download this mod for a quick VFX bump to the game. Fetzi's Displays is a mod that adds a new workbench helping you create racks, wall holders, katana stands, and a few more blocks that will help you display your arsenal. Maybe you'd like to save your first ever diamond pickaxe or your first ever netherite ingot. Whatever it may be, it will be displayed beautifully. Trophies aside, these racks can be equally useful for storing tools, particularly modded tools, with this project being partially compatible with many mods that add new weapons and items to the game. Blood Bits is another VFX mod on the list, this one having to do solely with blood. Whenever you hit a mob, blood will spray around it, and the slashing sound can be heard. Depending on the mob, both the sound and the visuals of the blood will be different. The blood effect also changes based on whether they have any armors on, as you will be hearing the sword clashing with the metal, along with seeing sparkling particles as well. Thanks to Curseforge non-existent mod environment tab, I cannot tell you whether this project is client-sided or not, but it appears as so, since there is no new content added, only audible and visual effects were included. From the same author as Companions mod, Tameable Beasts is a project about discovering and befriending new species around the world. Every creature here is useful, either for transportation on the air or the land, or useful as a battle companion. This mod is filled with many items, tools and armor to use from the new mobs, and I can't believe I didn't know about this mod despite it being out for 3 years. Now that Companions mod is out, I see these two as the perfect combination of mods, easily the biggest expansion of tameable mobs on the game. This mod adds realistic binoculars to the game. These binoculars are super easy to make, and they can zoom in things hundreds of blocks away. The design of the binoculars isn't vanilla friendly, but I can see them being used on Modern Warfare mod packs. They would fit nicely with the other gun mods. Admin Utilities is perfect for those who don't like writing commands every time they want to change the weather or stop mobs from spawning. This mod will add this interface containing a couple of buttons useful for a variety of things, amongst which there is the game mode, invisibility, super tools like pickaxes and swords that will insta-kill or insta-mine blocks and entities, plus a few more. The mod has only been around for 2 weeks, so expect more and more buttons to be added. And finally, we have Darker Depths, an awesome cave expansion mod that adds a couple of new biomes to explore and new ancient structures to discover. This mod will present you with 3 main adventures. First one is the Glow Shroom, a fungi biome with glowing mushrooms and a deadly mob called the Glow Shroom monster. Second one is the Catacombs, an underground dungeon with an ancient tomb and terribly tough knights that protect it. And finally, the Molten Caves, Not much of an adventure, but can help you obtain a one-time use block that can supercharge one of your tools and make them unbreakable. This is one of the best cave expansion mods I've ever seen in a while, and I'm glad to see it being updated and ported over to newer versions. Modern modpacks really need such mods. Thanks for watching. Like and subscribe if you enjoyed this collection and want more. Last month's wrap-up featured huge updates, new awesome mods for Vanilla Plus and RPG modpacks, along with the random fun projects I stumbled across during that month. Check it out, and I'll see ya in the next one, my friend.